Shabbat Shalom. Happy Passover. So we all love the song Dayenu, and we talk about it during the Seder. But another meaning for Dayenu is enough. Another school shooting. Many of you know my youngest son, Yoni, who will be 14 in 2 months. And he shared with me a poem that he wrote. Oh, some of you who are better than I am with social media saw it. I asked him to come and read it, and he said, "Nah." But he did give me permission to read it, and I wish it would be enough. He calls it, "A gun will not replace my pen." I'm writing an article right now, the topic, school shootings. So here are some things I've learned, some questions and some revelations. Did you know that over 90% of the students I surveyed fear school shooting? Did you know that over a quarter of those students think about getting brutally murdered in school every single day? And did you know that I can walk into a shooting range with a 10-year-old and they can use a lethal weapon? I love writing, but I hate writing about this. I hate writing this article because I must change the statistics all the time, because the numbers keep on going up. I love true crime, but I hate listening to 911 calls. I hate listening to the Parkland 911 calls over and over again in order to understand what they were saying. I love school, but I hate fearing it. I hate going to school knowing that just by pursuing an education, I can be slaughtered in cold blood on a Wednesday afternoon. This is a letter to those who spread bullets more than I spread ink. A letter to those who mistake fear for freedom and power for gun. You have turned classrooms into war zones, lockdown drills into lullabies, and hallway chatter into hushed prayers. Prayers begging a merciful God to let us go home the way we came to school. I write because I must, because if I don't, who will? I write with hands that ache, with words that shake, with a voice that refuses to be silenced. And perhaps my pen is not louder than a gun, but it is braver. It bleeds truth instead of blood. It shoots ink instead of bullets. It has not killed the soul. So I will keep writing. I will write until ink floods the chambers that once echoed with screams. I will write until a gun never enters a school again. I will write until I can pursue an education without fearing that I will be murdered in the same way that Tyru Chaba and Robert Morales were yesterday. This is not just a poem. This is a warning, a plea, a protest, a promise. I didn't read it to show off my, as he called himself, my favorite youngest child, but he just echoed, he just wrote what so many children and parents and everyone else just feel. And sometimes when I feel that we just get used to it, I have to remind myself and everyone else, there are things we should never get used to. And gun violence and school shootings, we should never get used to. We here, most of us, follow Israel and celebrate 7 days of Passover. Some people grow up conservative or Orthodox outside of Israel. In Israel, everyone celebrates only 7 days. You can be the most ultra-Orthodox person in Israel, only 7 days. So the 8th day is only for outside of Israel. In any case, most of the Reform movement, our family follow Israel 7 days. So tomorrow night, I will break Passover. Now, tomorrow is also the holiday, and traditionally we light a Yortzat candle. Okay, so before we start Shabbat officially, we're going to light the Yortzeit candle, and then we will receive Shabbat. Oh, I should have been a gentleman and allow you to use this. I used up the last good one. You know, there is something that people call mansplaining. I don't know what's the equivalent of men lighting or something, so I will just stay here and not intervene.
We got it. Only took 3. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav letzivanu lehadlik ner lehadlik ner shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov.
Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. Happy Passover.
Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai, baruchu shemo, basru miyom leyom yeshuato, sapru b'goyim kevodo, lechol ha'amim biflotav. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, yalai, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu final verse, if you're able, I invite you to rise. We turn to face the entrance of our sanctuary as we welcome in Shabbat. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala gam besimcha uvetzola toch emunei am segula boi chala lecha dodi likra kala
We pause now to reflect on the past week and to think mostly about good things that happened. And if any of you would like to share something good, that would be wonderful.
I'd like to thank you and Marcy and the rest of the staff for very lovely Passover Seder.
Thank you, Carol, for thanking us, but thank you all for coming and celebrating with us. It was a wonderful Seder indeed.
After the Passover service on Saturday night, I had vertigo and I passed out.
Oh,
I would like to thank people that took me home and kept me safe.
thank you. So people you didn't know before help you back home, and you're here, so you're doing well. Thank you for sharing that. Just use your big voice, I heard you.
My wife for coordinating our beautiful Seder, and then what you read from your son giving me hope.
Oh, thank you. So thank you for a wonderful Seder, and yes, young people and everyone needs to fight this fight. Neda.
Oh, mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Oh, the matzah ball soup. So many of you came to support our youth group that had a matzah ball bingo program and helped them to raise money for Camp Jenny, which is, thank you. It was a fun evening, even though bingo is less exciting than I thought it would be. Just say. After. So yeah, that's not something you hear often. So your 18-year-old grandson jumped off a plane, not because he was forced to, but because he chose to. But he called you after. So thank God for saving our adventurous young people. Don't tell the same story about his grandson. Because wow, that's a lot of quelling.
A very happy story where our oldest daughter, Mia, graduates from college with honors in 2 weeks. Right? She graduates from FSU. And yesterday, as you can imagine, every parent's worst nightmare.
Yes.
She's calling, but she can't get through. They have her in the med school area, in a vault, 5.5 hours on clock. And when everything was clear and released, she was the one that was helping other people.
So Mia had the opportunity to help others after this shooting.
This morning, she wanted to do whatever she could to help, so she was at the hospital helping people. And just remarkable.
Thank you for sharing that. That's really beautiful.
First, I'm thrilled that I was part of the family to be able to come to Passover Seder last week. I really felt like this family. And then my family came to visit, my son, my daughter-in-law, and 2 of my 5 grandchildren.
Welcome back. Do we have some nice pictures?
Oh, so many nice Passover
Oh.
pictures. If you're confused, you'll come next year. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Ulezamer, ulezamer
Please rise for Baruch. And let's take this opportunity to turn to the people next to us, behind us, in front of us. Wish each other Shabbat Shalom, Happy Passover, Zissen Pesach. Let's read the evening prayer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name, ever-living God. May you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המרי ורבי אהבת עולם בית
I would like to invite you to close your eyes for a moment and take a slow, deep breath in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in all the blessings of Shabbat, of Passover, of community. And breathe out all of your fears, your anxieties, your stress of the past week. Because Shabbat is a time to let go of everything we need to let go of. And it's time to talk to God, to share with God anything that is in our mind, in our heart. Ask any question and carefully listen to what God has to say to us. And together.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vayed.
And we slowly open our eyes.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy for your God. I am Adonai, your God, who led you out of the land of Egypt. Adonai Elohechem emet. Let's read together. Sometimes liberation takes a lifetime.
Sometimes
Liberation can happen in an instant. Seas part, gates open, our awareness expands, and we are filled with awe. Who is like you, God? Who can compare to you, God of miracles? When the children of Israel passed through the sea, which you split in two, they sang these words to you. Rock of Israel, rise up to protect our people. Save us, free us, deliver us from harm.
bless you, God.
Mi chamocha, mi ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha, nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, לפני משה ומרים, זילי, אנו ואמרו, אדוני לעולם
One of the better books I read recently is Wild Dark Shore. I don't know if any of you had a chance to read it. The story takes place on a very remote little island that is populated with penguins, seals, sea lions. One of the scenes there was quite incredible. The few people who live on this island witness something that they've never witnessed before. So there was a seal, a little seal, lying down on an ice floe. That's what they like to do. And then all of a sudden, a group of orcas, of killer whales, came, surrounded a little ice floe, and tried to push the seal of the ice floe into the freezing water in order to eat it. This is not the end of the story. Now, I paused for a second to check if this is a fiction, because the book is fiction, or things like that happen in reality. So these are the orcas. You don't want to meet them. They are not really nice, or at least they like to take advantage of smaller, weaker animals. Can we see the next one? And that's what they do. Okay, it was captured only in the 1990s for the first time. Okay, you see the little... So what they do is, first of all, they show up, and then they scare the seal for a long time without doing anything. But think about you're this little seal on the ice floe, and then these 5 gigantic killer sharks just show up. And then their system is they create a wave. They call it a washing wave, and they try to flip the ice floe and make the seal fall and attack it. So apparently it's something quite common. But this is only half of the story, because what the book tells is that as the seal was trying somehow to survive, a pod of humpback whales, like these guys, came along and intervened. They pushed the killer whales away and saved the little seal. And then I checked if it ever happens in reality. You see what's happening here in this little video? And that's exactly what was the description in the book that I thought was complete fiction. So when the seal fell, the humpback whale turned around upside down, helped the little seal jump on its belly. Okay, so the seal became this floating device. At the same time, they were scaring away the orcas until the little seal was safe. And that happens in reality, and since the 1990s, it has been documented several times. Incredible. Really incredible and real. The question that I was asking myself as I read it was, why would the humpback whales do that? Why would they fight other whales, even though they're much bigger, but still, why would they take the risk of getting injured fighting killer whales to save a creature of a different species? Right? That's the question. We all know in nature, and we know that parents will do anything to save their children because that's what we're supposed to do. But to save a member of a different species, it makes no sense according to Darwin's evolution theory. Because the whole idea, right, is, the survival of the fetus. You need to have the traits that will help you to survive in order to pass your genes. If you're not strong enough, if you don't have these traits, well, you will be replaced by something else. So they call it the altruism paradox. Being altruistic, meaning sacrifice your life for somebody else, really makes no sense, especially when you're not passing your genes. Okay, so for the mother whale to risk her life for her baby, for her calf, it makes perfect sense, right? But for a seal, This is a question that still I was not able to find any answer for that. Why would they do such a thing? And I think I thought about this question because I read it during Passover. And when you think about the Passover story, at the main hero, Moses, Moses grew up as a prince in Egypt. He had a wonderful life. He enjoyed privilege, safety, status, good life. But then one day, we read, he went out to see how the other people live and saw an Egyptian beating up a Hebrew, a slave. And he intervened. He killed the Egyptian. And then he ended up running away from Egypt. And the question that I was asking myself is, why did he do it? We assume all the time that Moses in the palace knew that he was Jewish or he was a Hebrew, but the Torah never tells us that. As far as we know, he didn't know. Right? He was raised there like many other Egyptian kids in the palace, son of the daughter of the Pharaoh. So why would a person who has only to lose would risk his life to save a slave, a nameless slave? Why would anyone do such a thing? One of the most important principles in Judaism, actually has a Latin name, imitatio Dei, which means imitation of God. So the rabbis already in the Mishnah tells us we should act like God. So if God feeds the hungry, we should feed the hungry. As God clothes the naked, those who don't have clothes, we should provide them with clothes and some basic needs. But here, in our story, we see a different trait of God that Moses imitated. God intervened on behalf of the Jewish people in Egypt. Why did God choose all of a sudden to fight with the Pharaoh, to do it? The people of Israel didn't do anything to deserve God's intervention. Why did God do it? The word in English, the best word is grace. In Hebrew, it would be chesed, an act of loving kindness with the emphasis on somebody who does something for you that you don't deserve. And you do something that you don't expect to get anything in return. Just like this humpback whale would not get anything from the seal. Why did Moses intervene? Why was he ready to lose everything he had? He was imitating God. He felt that it's time to act selflessly, to sacrifice, to risk your own life for something you truly believe in. And I believe that because of this act, many years later, when Moses was then in the desert in Midian, God chose him as the leader of Israel. Because to be a true, effective leader, you have to have this feature, this trait of willing to sacrifice, to risk yourself for your people. So maybe it doesn't make sense in nature, but the way to move beyond it, really to achieve something, is really to look at Moses, to learn from his example, who learned from God's example. And I love to see that the same idea exists even in nature. So maybe God created not only us with the instincts of going beyond what we need to do, but also the rest of God's creatures. Shabbat Shalom. We continue now with the Mishaberach, with the healing prayer. If you would like to mention the name of a loved one who is ill and in need of healing,
Mishaberach Avotenu Kor habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu Kor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
so the service tonight will be a little bit different. It's Shabbat and it's the last day of Passover. One of the things we do on the last day of Passover is saying Yizkor. Right? We say Yizkor traditionally 4 times a year. Yom Kippur, the 7th day of Sukkot, the 7th day of Passover, and on Shavuot. We're going to first do the Kiddush and Hamotzi, and then before the Kaddish, we will say the short prayers of the Yizkor. If for any reason you don't want to stay here for Yizkor, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but if for some reason you don't want to, just please wait for us at the social hall for the Oneg. Okay, so Kiddush Motzi, a short Yizkor, followed by Kaddish, and then we'll go to social hall. Makes sense? Even if not, just follow what Cantor Marcy is doing. And so, Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol am, veromemanu mikol lashon, vekidshanu b'mitzvotav. Vatitein lanu Adonai Eloheinu be'ahava, Shabbatot limnucha, umoadim lesimcha, Chagim uzmanim lesason, et yom hashabbat hazeh, ve'et yom chag hamatzot hazeh. Zman cherutenu be'ahava mikra kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat u'moadei kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, be'simcha uvsason hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat veYisrael veHazmanim.
L'chaim. We didn't switch the melody to confuse you. This is the traditional melody for festivals. Okay, so this is not the Shabbat one, because we had the Kiddush for both Shabbat and the festival. Okay, so about twice or three times a year we use this melody. Oh, this is a sad hamotzi. That's what I have for you.
It's there. It's just very flat.
You know, the Agada calls it halachmania, the bread of affliction. No, these ancient rabbis knew what they were talking about. So I don't even want to invite the children because next week we'll have these beautiful challahs to compensate for the bread of oppression and affliction.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
A little.
I would have 12 gefilte fish and not one piece of matzah. But you cannot, if you say blessing, you have to do it. So yeah, I took one for all of you. Let's continue with the few prayers of the Yizkor. Let's read together. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guideth me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me the days of my life. Let's take a moment of silence as we think of our loved ones. Please rise.
El male rachamim, shochein b'amromim, hamtzei menucha nechona, tachat kanfei hashchina, im kadoshim utorim, kezohar harakia mazhirim, lenishmot, Yakirenu shalchu leolamam, Baal harachamim yastireim, Beseter knafav leolamim, Veitzor vitzor hachayim et nishmatam, Adonai hu nachalatam, Ve'anuchu v'shalom al mishkavam, Ve'nomar Amen.
Merciful God, God Most High, let there be perfect rest for the souls of our loved ones who have gone to eternity. May they find shelter in your presence among the holy and pure, whose light shines like the radiance of heaven. Compassionate God, hold them close to you forever. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May they find a home in you, and may they rest in peace. Together we say Amen. During Yizkor, everyone says Kaddish, but I want to read the names of those who are of your side today or during the period of Shloshim, the month of mourning. Joel Chayet, father of Hillary and Sam. Sam Savell, grandfather of Bruce. Kenneth Dana, brother of Claire. Larry London, grandfather of Mark. Emily Gordon, mother-in-law of Nikki. Edward Godman, grandfather of David. Lola Green, mother of Robert. David Holderman, husband of Jackie. Sarah Katz, mother of Donald. Jesse Lane, father of George. Stephen Lee Lake, first husband of Lori. Tammy Goldberg, aunt of Julie. Rachel Markson, mother-in-law of Stephanie. Edward Geffen, brother of Bonnie. Shirley Resnick, mother of Seth. Freda Marks, mother of Eleanor and grandmother of Ken. Zachary Schneider, husband of Joetta. Max Silber, father of Robert. Francis Snell Rosenberg, mother of Jane. Rose Birnbaum, mother of Frida and grandmother of Yvette. Herbert Waldenberg, father of Tina. Nathan Coleman, grandfather of Sheila and great-grandfather of Sherry and Marshall. Jack Weber, father of Jeff. Jerry Hollenstadt, father of Tammy. Sam Feingold, grandfather of Tammy. Aaron Rothenberg, father of Lois and grandfather of Janet. And during the month of mourning, remember Rennie Feldman, mother-in-law of Jackie and grandmother of Rachel and Sarah. Mazel Rothenberg, mother of Susan. David Edelman, cousin of Jim. If you would like to mention another name before we're saying the Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה. בעלמא דברך חירותי והמליך מלכותי בחייכון ובמחון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיים. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיא וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
I'm singing in the wrong key.
Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat Shalom, happy Passover. Please join us for the oneg. And if you want to know what to do with 20 semi-open bottles of white wine, please try our white wine sangria. We don't like wasting food here.
Shabbat shalom, how are you, man?